it's your girl Shay. We are back in the building. Sprinkle a little sunshine with a bowl of ice cream. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. I'm not here alone. I'm here with my brother Words. Say what's up, Words.
What's up, everybody? See, now she got me wanting the ice cream cone. See?
While you playing, I could go for a scoop of butter pecan myself.
See what I'm saying? Easily
Mm.
pleased. That's what I'm talking
Okay.
about.
Okay. I
See how
love
easy
butter
it is to
pecan.
please. Now you know what to get her, and now you know what to come, how you gonna get me. You show up with that in your hand, hey, I might listen to you.
Friends for life. Okay.
You heard me? That's
Friends
it.
for life. Yes. Well, let me put these back on.
We keep telling y'all it don't always take money.
It sure don't. It really don't. Sometimes the simplest things and the smallest things count the most.
Man.
And I am not picky. Come see me with a bowl of ice cream if you want to.
Man. Okay.
Mhm.
I will entertain you.
Exactly. So, Black celebration for today. First of all, there was a little boy. His name is in the news. I want to find him. Graduate who walked. Well, I don't want to sit here and search for it, but anyway, there was a young man who graduated 8th grade, I believe, but he has so much determination to get to his graduation that he walked 6 miles, I believe, to his graduation. HBCUs were so impressed with his determination that they gave him a full ride scholarship.
Nice.
So that's a way to reward the future people. That's how you do it. And I'm going to get his name for next week. But yes, I'm proud of that young man because, anybody else would have been like, I'm going to just stay home. I'm not going to go. He was like, I work hard for this, so y'all going to give me mine. So kudos to that young man. And also, shout out to Ramarni Wilfred. He is a 17-year-old Black male who has a 162 IQ, which is higher than Stephen Hawking, Bill Gates, and Albert Einstein.
That's what I'm talking about, brother.
17 years old. This brother is going to go so far. He has the nothing but up. You know what I'm saying? You can only go up with an IQ of 162.
Man, it's called the it factor.
And he got it. He got it. Because if my IQ is 45, I'd be surprised.
Man. I thought 50 was good.
Honestly. Go ahead.
I tell anybody, I'm a few sandwiches short of a picnic. So, just because I do it don't mean it's going to work for you. It's just how I see life turning.
Right. Because listen, I don't even know if I've ever taken an IQ test.
For real, I haven't either.
Even know what my IQ is.
Likewise.
So I think we should both try to take one this week and see what our IQ is.
Sounds good. And we'll reveal the information next week.
Exactly. Because I'm really curious now. I'm going to put that on my calendar because I really would love to know what my IQ is. I mean, I'm like you. I'm a French fry short of a Happy Meal, but still, I would love to know, like, am I 5 fries, 6 fries, the whole pack of fries? Did they just leave me in the grease? I'm just wondering.
Did they make you leave your drink at the stove? Did I order a drink? I don't even remember no more.
You know what I'm saying? Something like, hey, did they leave the Mac sauce off my Big Mac? I just
man, that part.
Really need to know. I
forgot. I don't remember if I even ordered a Big Mac. I thought it was a cheeseburger. I thought I got a cheeseburger.
They all about the same except for the bun and the lettuce and the Big Mac sauce, boy. And these prices on these burgers, but we ain't even gonna go into that. But Lord have mercy,
that part.
It's almost like eating at a gourmet restaurant trying to order something from McDonald's nowadays.
Man, last time I went to the gourmet restaurant is when I realized I needed glasses. I
Right.
couldn't see the menu. I felt dumb.
You know, some of those restaurants are set up to make you feel that way.
Didn't know that. Maybe that was
Yeah.
the setup.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And by the way, people, quick tip on the restaurants. Any restaurant you go to, make sure you check your tickets. Cause recently down here in Texas at a local restaurant, one of the servers decided to turn a $10 tip into $110 tip by putting
Oh,
the
wow.
one in the front. So you're supposed to put a squiggle or something in front of the amount. So if it's a $10, you put a squiggle, 1 and 0 in
Put
front
your
of
dollar
the tip.
sign.
Or even like the dollar sign, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, somebody tried to get over on them, and it went through with that $110 tip, and now they having a dispute it with the bank. I'm like, wow. I don't eat out often, but I'll be watching my ticket because who don't have that?
Right.
Don't be
Right.
playing with people money. Everybody's basically living check to check. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
So,
I always, whenever I go out, I keep a few cash in my pocket for the tip. I pay with my card, so therefore I put a 0 in the line through the 0.
exactly.
You know.
And that's what I try to do too. Give cash for the tip and then, pay the rest with the card.
Right.
But and then so the last time I did go out, I didn't realize, which I guess I should have, that we had a big group. It was like 20 people, and the gratuity was already on the ticket, but I gave them an additional $20 for getting that. And then I looked at the ticket and I realized I may have given them a pretty good tip. So, but either way, sometimes you just gotta, so I didn't say nothing, but sometimes you just gotta make sure that they get handled properly. And he got compensated properly. He did a good job to get that, so I didn't trip out or whatever. But
Right.
so, but let's get into it because there's some juice going on in the world.
Uh-huh.
So today we're going to talk about celebrity trials. And it's 3 of them in particular. We're going to talk about Danny Masterson, who was on the 70s show, that 70s show. We're going to talk about Cuba Gooding Jr., best known for Jerry Maguire. And we're going to talk about Travis Randolph. Is that how you say his name? Yeah, Travis Rudolph. Travis Rudolph. He's a former NFL player. And you know what the sadness about the 3 of these cases is to me?
What's that?
The main sadness is that you make it to Hollywood, you have a successful career, and you mess it up by raping or groping somebody and developing this reputation that is going to stick to you for the rest of your life,
Right.
Because
Just being in that situation all together.
Yes, or just being in a negative situation, like you worked this hard to get to where you need to be, and now it's all your hard work is erased.
Is that a part of their work stuff?
Right.
You got to realize that's just what they got caught doing.
That's true. That's true. But I mean, there's celebrities out there that you don't hear about, like Emmitt Smith. You have never really heard of Emmitt Smith getting in trouble, and he was a high level athlete.
Huh?
So it is definitely possible to stay out of trouble if you really want to. You know what I'm saying? It's called take your behind home and surround yourself with the right people. But that's just my little opinion. So let's talk about Danny Masterson first, since both of us we're not overly familiar with his case, and then we'll move on to the next ones. So Danny Masterson, 47-year-old actor, he's facing 30 years behind bars on 2 counts of rape. So, back in 2020, I guess, I'm trying to find the date. So let's see. So back in 2020, a couple of women came out and said that he assaulted them. Oh, wait, sorry. They came out in 2020, but the assaults occurred between 2001 and 2003.
20 years ago?
Yes.
See, that's what I don't be like.
Is it okay? I understand. I totally understand the pain of rape. I really, really do. But why was this situation handled back in 2021, 2001 and 2003? How can you
Right.
go 20 years? 20 years. Is the evidence even still viable 20 years later?
Well, they got him some time. So evidently it was in the court, and guilty don't always mean right.
It don't. It really don't, because there are plenty of cases where men have gone to jail, then they've served like 15, 20 years, and then the kids come back that it was wrong and they really were innocent. I get that. But why would you wait as a woman 20 years to say, oh, he did this to me?
That's what I don't understand. That's what makes it not believable.
It really does.
Because I want to
Really
believe you.
does.
I want to ride with you. I want to make for all that to stop. But when you do that, and then you then ask me to enforce your rule, that's a total different ball game. It's
It
like, I
is.
don't know. I might not want to put my head on the limb on that one.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was another high profile rape with kind of the same circumstances a few years back. I'm not gonna say the name, where all those women came out over 20 years later. All of them got together and said, he did this, he put this in my drink, he did all of this, and he got convicted, right?
Right.
So Danny was in 2020, he was arrested and he placed a $3 million bail. And so his trial started April 24th and wrapped up May 12th, right? So I'm gonna read it. They found the actor guilty on the majority of the counts against him. So in total, there were 3 counts against him. After the verdict was read out loud, the jury was dismissed. Masterson was deemed a flight risk, and with the dazed look on his face, he was cuffed and taken into custody despite the pleas of his lawyer. The next hearing on motions in the matter is scheduled for August 4th. A sentencing hearing has not been scheduled. Now, an update. Masterson's former lawyers, Tom Mesereau and Sharon Applebaum, leaked discovery material to a Scientology church. And she sanctioned them, but the amount wasn't revealed as the duo are appealing the order. Yeah, so at an evidentiary hearing this morning on how some of the prosecution's discovered material was found, how it found its way to Scientology lawyer, the judge told attorneys on both sides that she wanted a probation report the opening week of August. As part of the report, the judge told the assembled defense and LA District Attorney reps that Masterson was not to be interviewed as part of the report. So, so what you thinking about it so far?
It's a lot to unpack there. One,
Mm-hmm.
it's a whole lot to unpack. First,
Mm.
first, 20. If you plan to do something for 20 years, you will have a timeline. You will have all the evidence, right?
Right, right.
That man probably didn't even remember that person, let alone what happened.
I'm sure he didn't. He's a star, one. And two, I'm pretty sure these women just throw it at him all the time. So that's the thing. As a celebrity, you can have anybody that you want. Why do you have to rape somebody?
Right,
And was
right.
it and and I'm not gonna question it, but I'm gonna question it. Was it really rape? You know what I'm saying? Like
Right. And this is
what
why, as an adult, especially if you're living that life, everything I do would be recorded.
that's what I'm saying. I have said the same thing. And I would have them sign a non-disclosure because
A non-disclosure don't stop an anybody from filing a police report. You know what I mean? That just mean a non-disclosure mean you can't go out here and get paid off our encounter.
but
Basically,
I would have them sign it just for that part because a
I
lot of
mean, yeah,
people.
definitely, definitely. Say you won't reproduce anything that we doing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh huh.
But I would have to have something in writing that at least says you gave consent to this going down. Now maybe things got a little rough, you know. Some people
Right.
like rough sex, and maybe he got, and I'm not defending him. I'm not. I'm just looking at it from both points of views. But why wait 20 some years to come forward?
That's my thing.
And
That's my thing.
you know that I would really love to know that. I'm going to do a little more research on that. Maybe I should have did that ahead of time, but it's just it's just weird to me that somebody could wait that long. And you could have did this while he was still even on the show.
Right.
Handled it back then.
Right.
But it's 20 years
Right.
later. It is 20 years later.
Them payments stop.
That could have been, or in seeing more money out there for, oh, let me tell it. They'll pay me to say this, they'll pay me to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So
Now, unless there was some hard evidence against them and it didn't move forward because of what he was where he was working,
mm,
because that was one of the top TV shows.
yes, it was. And I'm sure it's in syndication, so I'm sure he's still getting a check for it.
Right.
So it's not like he didn't still have the money, but I guess, he got tired of paying it. Could have been, and hey, or he
Hmm.
just took a risk. It was like, well, you know what? We're gonna play the stupid game. I'm just gonna not pay you no more.
Right.
So update as of 10:15, uh today, I guess. He's facing 30 years behind bars if found guilty. Oh, and
Wow.
his sentencing date is August 4th. It got updated. Yeah. But I'm like, that's crazy. So now let me look at it on the flip side. And dealing with the Church of Scientology. Leah Remini, and I don't know these people, I'm just saying Leah Remini came out, and did that big exposure thing on them and how controlling the church could be. So with that being said, did these ladies maybe not come out against him because of the church?
That could be the case. And so that's why I say it's so much to unpack there. You know what I mean? It don't look good from their perspective, from me on the outside looking in on their part. However, I can't say he ain't do it.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, yeah.
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 I never sit here and say what didn't happen.
Right.
Especially when I wasn't there,
Exactly.
you know. But
Mm-hmm.
waiting 20 years, uh, I
Mm-hmm.
personally couldn't do it.
I
But
could,
in that situation, you never know what you would do.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
'Cause
and the girlfriend, I guess
it's a lot of, it's not just them, but it's a lot of people. I bet you, I'll say it like this. I bet you is more people, no matter what you are, male or female, that have gotten SA, that simply means being touched inappropriately or
mm-hmm,
anything like that,
mm-hmm,
than not have. You
mm-hmm,
understand what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
And that's just a factor where we live.
Right, 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 right.
You know what I mean? So you can't never say what wasn't done to a person sexually. Nah.
Now, one of his accusers apparently is an ex-girlfriend. They had a long-term relationship. So I
Oh
get
fuck nah.
mm, you know
Some
my
even
question.
though so you see when in them situations once again I don't condone it, right? But if you're boyfriend and girlfriend, it becomes a he say she say spitting match,
That's my
and no,
thing. Yes, because
and
you
no,
were in
none of
a
that should be admissible.
relationship. You were in a whole relationship with him. It was more than like 6 months. It was like a long time. So I wonder what was the circumstance. There's always three parts: his part, her part, and the truth. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
And he could have been a rough night, could have been drunk, and something went down, or sex could have been rougher than usual. I don't like it. I'm gonna call it this. Or, well, I want revenge. You could have cheated on me, so I'm gonna say that you did this. Or it could have been, or he thought it was consensual, but on her end it wasn't. So we gonna meet in the middle, and oh, I don't like it. So it's just like you said, it's so much to unpack. It really
right.
is.
And
And
that's
it's
scary being
even
a man.
rougher, huh?
Being a man, that's scary.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
That's because you don't really know who is deemed what is what.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
saying somebody can come in because I don't remember capade I had 20 years ago. And you
Right.
start answering me questions, but there's somebody that done thought about that all these years. That's a losing fight for whether you a man or woman to have to take.
Mm-hmm. And on the
So,
other, because I guess sometimes they ask you identifying marks. They ask you intimate questions, right? So
right,
being that she was in a relationship with him, she would be able to identify all these things, and say, well, we've had sex before, but this time the sex was a little different. You know what I'm saying? To kind of set it up and make it seem like this could have been like you said, a money thing. I want some of your
they,
money, you're not gonna give it to me, so I'm gonna say this.
right. But we don't know like I say, we're really shooting in the dark. We don't know
Mm-hmm.
the fundamentals of the case. We don't know anything about that. It
Right,
just seems
right.
weird. We're on the outside looking in. So people
Exactly.
don't take what we're saying and try to attach it to the story. We're just using a bunch of what ifs.
Mm-hmm. Disclaimer.
Right.
For the disclaimer. Maybe I should have started with that, but I think I put it in. But these are strictly opinions.
Uh,
We're just chopping up a discussion.
that's crazy. Oh,
Hmm. But so since she technically was the member of that church, Well, actually, she's not anymore. He's a prominent member, and she's an ex-member now. Did the church could the church? Well, I guess they didn't do a good enough job. He finally got caught, but during that time, he might have been protected by the church.
Which is true. Which is true. Which is true.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot say no to that. I'm betting with you on that, Shay. I ain't betting against you.
No, 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 no. So I guess we'll have to look forward to August 4th to see what he gets sentenced with. And again, he's looking up to 30 years. And how old is that man again? He is, let me see how old he's
That's one girl.
47.
That's one lady. But then there was another one too, right?
Well, he's up to with all three counts, he's looking up with two counts.
How many women?
It was three, I think it was three accusations, but he only got two counts.
Okay. So what that means is what that also means before you end it, some of their stories were similar along the way.
So
Because
instead of
you know, with everything leaves a print behind.
mm-hmm.
It leaves a mark behind, and if they find that mark, they can, okay, well, that's the mark for all three. You understand what I'm saying? It did this. It bit all three on the earth, on the left earth. You
Okay,
know what I mean?
right. So
Yeah.
instead of bringing charges for all three, they just kind of lumped them together and brought them down to like two counts.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What
Oh.
I'm saying is that is like probable cause. The when say he, like I say he said this is just anything in, or he bit them on their shoulder to
Mm-hmm.
get them to take their clothes off. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? He threatened to bite them. You
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying? And he made that same threat to all three. That's
Okay.
probable because that's saying that yeah, he probably did do it because they all three have the same story but are in different locations.
Okay, got you. Got
Yeah. So I'm just tying all three of them in and evidence.
you. Exactly. So
Yeah.
30 years, up to 30 years, he'll be 77. He could be 77 by the time he gets out of jail.
30 years, that's it.
Up
I
to.
know a guy, I know a guy that he got like 17 for one.
Mm.
He got 17 years.
How many did he have? How
He
many
raped
counts
one,
did
he
he have?
raped one girl,
Mm.
him and another guy. And the other guy was an adult. He was like 17 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But they both went up. The older guy, I want to say, he got 20 something, and then the other one got 17.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So yeah, so that was Danny Masterson. Now let's move on to, do you want to do Cuba or do you want to do Travis?
It doesn't matter.
All right. Let's go on to Cuba. And I'm sad to see Cuba going through this because Cuba was good back in the day. You know, he's
Uh,
after Jerry Maguire, he kind of his little career kind of took took a turn, but hey, okay.
Still no excuse because
No,
he admitted to some things I didn't like.
per se, really. What did he admit to?
If you read the article, he admitted to groping two ladies on a couple days.
He admitted to it. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, let's
yeah.
get into it. So these stories are happening in New York. A total of 30 women have come forward in this case against Cuba Gooding Jr. And he's an Oscar-winning actor, and that's sad. So he faces 3 counts of forcible touching and 3 counts of sex abuse to the 3rd degree in separate incidents involving 3 different women in New York. So, let's see. Now, at this moment, in this case with Cuba Gooding Jr., he settled the case. So, what do you think about that?
Right. That means he had the money to because you know you can settle any case if your money right.
Right.
You can
So
pay your way out of anything.
now,
Everything got a price to it.
so does that make him guilty, like automatically guilty, or should he have fought for his name and said, I'm not guilty, I didn't do it? But it's
Uh,
30 people coming out against you.
yeah, but in this climate, if you can pay and get away, you pay and get away. You know what I mean? If you can pay and get away, even if you didn't do it, it's just the fact your name caught up in it. You know what I mean?
But okay.
And like in the portion of the article I read, it was talking about that, but it also said he admitted to the forcible touching. You know what I mean? And once again, one of them was his girlfriend.
Really? I
Yeah.
didn't read that part. What? Because didn't one of these situations happen in a restaurant with the girlfriend? Like,
I couldn't tell you about that. I don't know.
I think so. There was, because I'm looking at it. The attorney for Cuba Gooding says we believe that the video unequivocally will show that Cuba committed absolutely no crime, and we expect this case to be dismissed. And but here's the kicker of it. Cuba Gooding Jr., I don't think has ever spoke up or out about Black issues. You know what I'm saying? And I think he was even dating somebody of the other side, but he
Okay.
shows up to court all with uh Black Lives Matter on and all this other stuff. Like, why this a lot of cases with they Black Lives Matter, but then soon as your case is over, you jump right back.
Mm-hmm.
Why play the Black card in your case? You know what I'm saying? Why are you tugging for society tears if you're not fighting for the cause? You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't stood up and said nothing. But yeah,
Well,
Black Lives Matter during your case. When it's something that affects you, it's okay. But what was you finna say?
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, but that's all that just kind of bothers me in some way. You know what I'm saying?
Run that by me again.
So he shows up to court with
Uh-huh.
Black Lives Matter.
Okay, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. Um,
He had on a Black Lives Matter
right,
face mask.
right. You know, it's once again, with 85% of the population being followers, people are moved by their feelings in 2023 and not what actually is.
Mm-hmm.
More majority of the population, both male and female. This isn't just a female issue. Is or moved by their emotions versus what's right and wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We're living in such an easily triggered society that that it kind of pisses everybody off that everybody majority of the not everybody, but majority of the population is easily triggered. The
Mm-hmm.
question is why?
Why are we triggered by what are we being triggered on? What do you think?
Meaning, with him just wearing that, majority of the population, it triggers a response.
Yeah, it does. It does.
You know what I mean? It triggers a response, and it's
Mhm.
like he's playing to that.
But
It
what response is he going for? Is he going for the response of I'm a black man, my Black life matters, or is he going for have sympathy for me because I'm part of the black community? What
a
is he going
combination
for?
of both. Another brother being charged for something he didn't do.
But see, that's my thing though. What if you don't stand up for black issues? Why would you wear that mask, knowing the
Right,
symbolism behind it?
right, right. It's kind of like speaking up on you don't date black people, but you'll speak on black relationships. You shouldn't. You're not there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You don't have a dog in the fight. If you don't have a dog in the fight, then why are you even using it? You know what I mean?
Yes. To me, you're looking for the black sympathy, which you don't deserve.
Right, right, right.
Where were
Eh,
you
eh,
with some of our other cases? Did you post a tweet in some of the cases where, with the Aubrey murder, with the Castro murder, with the
right,
Breonna Taylor? Did you post a tweet? Sandra Bland, did you post a tweet? Anything?
right. You stayed out of it, right?
Right. It's a little insulting, But
Uh,
then on the flip side of that, you could say, well, I just want to keep it low key. I don't, I'm for the people. I just don't believe in using my platform that way. I mean, could it go that way too?
yeah, it could go that way too. But if you don't use it, then you don't use it.
Right.
You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? That would have been one of the last things. It's like you don't have to tell me that you're a lady because of the things you do. Say you're a lady.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying? You judge by your work, not by what you got on. Is all.
Exactly.
That's the way it's supposed to go. It's supposed to all be in your work.
Exactly.
The illusion is to get you to look anywhere else but the work. Because if you see the work, then you see the flaw.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. So
So if I never let you see the work, then you'll never see the flaw. So,
it is
you
true.
know,
That
that's
is
what
true.
anything though. That's how you're supposed to look at people. Look at their work. So like I say, he takes the conversation away from what actually happened, and now it becomes a Black Lives Matter ish topic. Like, why
Mm,
are you doing it?
exactly.
Same reason you groping. Why are you doing that?
Exactly.
You know
So
what I mean?
so on the case, he settles, right? So with
Right.
this one lady, um, I guess she sued him for $6 million. And and this incident that happened, this particular victim, it was over 10 years ago. The one that
Wow.
he's paying for, it was over 10 years ago. But the
Wow.
parties resolved the matter.
Right. Right. So what do you do now?
Well, he doesn't have to go to trial. So
Right.
does that mean that he's free? Like he has no more charges against him? All charges are dropped?
I don't know, but it seems like it how that article reads, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, according to, so he said he denied the allegations at the time, calling them completely false and defamatory, and insisted the encounter was consensual. So he paid her an undisclosed amount of money to avoid going to court.
Right. But it looks from, when it look like a duck, quack like a duck, it's a duck.
It is a duck.
You know what I mean? I grope you, I'll rape you.
Because ultimately
If
30
I
women,
grope you unwanted, then I will rape you.
right.
No, and that's not something that I would particularly do. I'm just saying that's how they go, ladies. If I grope you, I will rape you.
Well, I mean, so
Your
far
no
though,
doesn't mean no to those type of guys.
right. But again, even before we started today, the question was, why would you, and I maybe, but why would you again get to this point? You're an Oscar-winning actor. And I don't
I,
even know if he had anything in in the works to start back in, but you're an Oscar-winning actor. Why would you have to not have non-permissions and grope somebody? Again, I'm pretty sure you could get it. And you were in a whole relationship, so it wasn't like you weren't getting it. So is it a thing of power that, oh, I'm Cuba Gooding Jr, I can do this? Are you touched in the head to where you just can't resist doing it? Because like you said, 30 people walk like a duck, quack like a duck. 30 women came forward and said this about this man. So it's just amazing to me that you would get to that level and
30.
destroy it. Yeah.
So that mean, with that doesn't mean he got to that level and started doing that. You don't understand what I'm saying?
Right.
A person only get better at disguising what they do. So that's nothing he just started doing.
No, because the original case started 3 years ago with all those women coming forward and saying that he groped them. So that was in 2023. And he settled this case with this one particular person. So does that mean, like, out of the 30 cases, this one case, I don't know if she's the only one that sued him, but she sued him for $6 million and won. And her case happened 10 years ago.
Why? Why? All right. Right. It took that long. Right. Right. But that was 10 years ago. How long before that did he actually do it? Now, right there, you probably already could take 20 years off his age. He back at Boys in the Hood age.
Basically. Because I mean, it didn't just start
No, it
overnight.
didn't just start. That's the whole point. It didn't just start. Now that makes you look at his body of work and be like, flawed. That's flawed.
Right. It really does. Like you have
Yeah.
to question everything. Like, in Boys in the Hood, he grabbed a girl around her waist and laid his head on his head. Was he groping her? We have it on film.
But he was paid to do it that way. So you can't label it as that when it's within the movie.
You couldn't, but I mean, after he said cut, did it last a little too
Longer
long?
than it was supposed to, right? Right, 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 right. He didn't let go. He made some comments.
Right. Laid his head a little longer than what he should, and she had to say, "Oh, Cuba, get off of me." You know what I'm saying?
Right. He
So
took a
you
couple
do.
more pumps and he wasn't supposed. He really tried to put it in.
So it just takes everything and make you question everything. And it's sad because he had a pretty good body of work for the most part,
Right.
but now, I mean, honestly though, his career had kind of fallen off because I haven't seen him in nothing in years.
Which is true. Which is true.
Like anything mention worthy. I haven't seen him in anything in years.
Which
So,
is true.
well, hopefully this young lady finds comfort in the settlement that she gets from him, you know? But I
Yeah.
mean, again, 10 years ago, is it just a money thing? Is it, or
It's
are
definitely the money.
you know,
It's
and
definitely the money.
and
That's
be it,
why you gotta, man, it's hard, man. Just say no.
mm, mm,
Man, I had this discussion yesterday with my partner and his girl came over, and we
mm,
were having that discussion.
okay,
Now,
what
I was talking about going to we were talking about going to the Dominican Republic, you know,
mm,
and she made a joke. She said, "Yeah, y'all will go over there and get married to one of them young senoritas." You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
So I say, well, my man said, actually, in that situation, I think a man would prefer to take it with him versus getting there finding something he don't know his way around. I was like, wow, that tied into what we were talking about right there.
Interesting. So what does that mean? Like he would prefer to take his woman versus going and trying to,
Es-
get something.
Establish something new. It's too late in the game. It's too
Interesting.
late. You know what I mean? I was like, wow, I never looked at it that way. Yeah.
Interesting.
But shit, like it's late in the game for for Cuba. So now all his work shot. And
Yeah.
what he finna play in now? What he finna play as?
He ain't finna do nothing except sit his behind at the house.
Well, Boys in the Hood might be issuing a nice royalty check though. Every time they
Oh
play it.
yeah, I'm sure, but they're not going to play it like they used to
Why? Because of him?
because of him.
Nah, you get that's an Ice Cube movie. Nah.
And it's an Ice Cube movie. It is true enough, but because he is in that movie and because of the movement here recently, they are not going to play that movie. Just like with
You don't think so?
nope. And they don't
Wow.
really play Boys in the Hood that much anymore.
But I'm talking about when it does come on, shoot. I
They are
whenever
not going to play it.
um
They're not going to play it.
on like my little movie stations on my Roku, I find it on there all the time.
Well, they
It be in the whenever you go with your movie stations,
uh-huh.
go to the black film part where they just show you nothing but the Boys in the Hood always be in there.
Tubby. Mm-hmm. But
You
I
know what I mean?
guarantee it, you know how he is prominent on the poster. You know how they're
Oh,
leaning
they gonna
against.
change the poster?
Oh yeah, they're gonna change the
Yeah,
poster
yeah, yeah.
because Creed 3 is now playing on Amazon. And do
Uh,
you know that they have taken uh Jonathan Major's face almost completely off of any advertisement?
what did he do?
Oh, sir, he was in the car. He was in a taxi with his girlfriend, and she's another. He was in the car with his girlfriend, and she noticed he got a text message from another woman. And so the fight ensued, right? So she goes and says basically that he hit her and that he had messed up her arm. But yet that same night, right after that incident, she went to the club and was just fine. Right? So then after that came out, all these reports, he got arrested, or he turned himself in, I'm not sure, but he ended up going to jail, and she wrote up all these text messages. I didn't mean to cause all this for you, and blah blah blah. I mean, it was a big thing, big ugly thing. And then one night she broke into his house, and I think she OD'd in his closet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a big
Wow.
old ugly thing. And then soon after, he started dating Megan Good. So the speculation is Megan could have been the reason why all that started.
You win some, you lose some. That's how you play the game.
Yeah, but Jonathan Majors is sitting on the type of career like Sam Jackson has, right? Because he plays a character called Kang in the Marvel universe, right? But Kang goes across has infinite characters. So he could potentially star in a whole bunch of series across the Marvel verse.
Right.
So when all this came out, Jonathan Majors got dropped from like the Army campaign, and he got dropped from the Creed advertisements. And he got dropped for something else. But the biggest spotlight was on his Disney works. And
Right.
and so far Disney has not come out and said, okay, we are dropping him from future movies. There's been a bunch of speculations, but I don't think Disney has formally come out and said we're going to recast Kang.
Right.
So yeah,
Right.
so I believe he still has some charges or trial that he will have to face behind her.
That's messed up.
And the taxi driver already came out and said that he is willing to testify that he did not hit
Put his
that
hands
woman.
on her. Oh, wow. And
Now,
she sent a text message say, I didn't mean for it to happen.
yes.
And then turn around and commit suicide break in your house and commit suicide in your closet.
Well, we can't call it suicide. She didn't die. She only OD'd. She didn't die. She's
OD,
still alive.
okay, she
Mm-hmm.
survived on OD.
Mm-hmm.
And she admitted to doing that she
Mm-hmm.
broke in.
He found her and he called the paramedics and had her taken to the hospital. But
Wow.
a lot of people were saying that the text messages were fake because, well, not fake, they came from her, but they came from a victim. She was a victim and she was brainwashed, and she wrote those because she just didn't understand what she was doing.
Man, whatever. Adults understand fully what they're doing.
And again, how can she be the total victim if she caused this? Like,
Right. But
that
see,
man
that
did
if
not
she
put his
broke
hands
in, there
on
has
you.
to be evidence of a break-in.
Mm-hmm. And that
You
man
know what I
didn't put his
mean?
hands on you. And he even, like, she was going off and hitting on him. He called the police on during the situation. He called the police.
Wow. Wow. That's why you can't mess with these people that got drug problems.
Hmm.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to
So,
tell you.
but or two, and this is probably gonna be kind of harsh to say, but you shouldn't mess with somebody that don't understand your history. Now, in dealing with Black men, you being a white woman, they are going to jump to conclusions automatically just because this is a Black man. They don't care about his name. They just care
That part.
about your as they call it, white woman tears. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you lay it on thick enough,
Man, this nigga did what?
he
That
could, yeah, he could have gotten seriously hurt. But you
part.
know, at least he kind of has a bit of a name that he can lean on and say, I'm this person, and you know, dot dot dot. You know what I'm saying? So he may have had an extra layer of protection that the typical Black man would not have. So there's that. So this is what four? This is four major names in Hollywood that have allegedly had instances. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Definitely.
This is it's just crazy. So the last one we're gonna touch on, your boy Travis Rudolph. Now
Oh,
his was not a case of rape. His was a case of infidelity slash upset girlfriend.
right.
So Dominique Jones is the former girlfriend of Travis Rudolph. Travis Rudolph is a former NFL player. He played on the Miami. He got signed to Miami Dolphins for like a season or two, but he ended up messing up his ACL right at the beginning of the season. So he didn't even play past like one game. Then he got signed to a Canada League finally, and then this situation breaks out. So he was dating someone named Dominique Jones. And Dominique testified here recently that to the situation. So what happened was she was in his house, found out that he had been messing around on her, got upset. They had a fight. She ran outside, put a brick in his car window, ran back into the house, grabbed a bottle, hit him in the back of the head with a vodka bottle. Words was said. And she calls her brothers and cousins to come and quote shoot up his stuff. Now these are just allegedly alleged. These are alleged, people. But look it up. I'm reading this straight off the web. So alleged. So so they came. Now Rudolph, who is 27 years old, he goes upstairs to defend himself. And she smashed his PlayStation. Oh my goodness. So he goes upstairs to defend himself. He gets an automatic weapon and he shoots at her family members who came over to defend her. And one ended up, I'm trying to find out so I can get it. So he's charged with 1 count of first-degree murder and 3 counts of attempted first-degree murder. And he killed one person. And the other 3 were 2 were unharmed, and I think another one was in serious condition. I'm trying to find it. But go ahead. What you think about that? You go ahead. What else do you need to share? What else can you share? Words.
Hey, first and foremost, he was found not guilty.
Okay.
The verdict did come out on that. Uh, that was all her fault because one, she was when you really look at the case, she was married.
Dang, was she? It
Yeah, she
doesn't
was a
say that.
married woman. Getting mad because she was what? He was seeing somebody else. How can you be mad about that? You're doing it
Especially
too.
if you married.
Right, right. Now I don't know if they're separated or nothing like that, but that was a portion of her testimony.
Mm-hmm.
But she and her cousins or brother, they is who should have been on trial.
Mm-hmm.
Because you went over there looking for a fight and you actually got one
And
and
you got
lost.
it. You got it.
You
Exactly.
got what you asked for. And once
Mhm.
again, you put somebody in a situation that 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 I can't say never. I'll say that he never swung or hit you.
Mhm.
That came out in the testimony too.
But
You
you
know what I mean?
stayed
So he
with
was
him. No, you stayed with him. You married, you stayed with him. He put his hands on you, and you still chose to be in this relationship. But go ahead.
right, right. Ooh, excuse me, I had to sneeze.
Bless
Um, thank you. Um, Men got to pick better too. Just like they're telling women to pick better,
you.
men
Mm-hmm.
have to pick better too.
Mm-hmm.
Those signs that she's that type of female are there before you even get to a year in. That ain't
Mm-hmm.
nothing that you just stumble across.
No,
You know what I mean?
she's done
That
that before.
right, right. We're dealing with adults here. So both male and female gotta stop looking past certain flags. Flag on the play.
Right.
I mean,
And
certain flags you can't look past. And
right.
I could tell by her attitude, I knew what that was looking at it. Like, oh, nah, that ain't gonna work the way you think it's gonna work. Even if you try to get away from it, it'll put you in a situation like that.
Mm-hmm.
You
And
know what I
we
mean?
past the days as grown people where we gotta call little Ray Ray and them like over a relationship. Like if you marry and he is it cheating? It's
Right,
not cheating if your marriage is cheating what you doing, but it's
right,
not he's just dating other people. You're just one in a lineup, sis.
right,
And
right.
that should be something that you accept. You
Well,
shouldn't be thinking that you in a monogamous relationship, one with an athlete and two as a married person.
right. But she never disclosed she was married to him.
No, but
Yeah.
but regardless, past that, you calling Lil Pookie and them to come handle your situation. Why not just leave? And you knew you were placing it because I'm pretty sure that Lil Pookie and them may not have the cleanest records in the
But
junior
you
bar.
also thought you had to know the type of artillery he had. You thought he wouldn't use it. Who
Did
gonna sit there
she?
and just? She had to. They had been together almost a year.
I mean, you could know that he has a gun. Oh,
Yeah, but she had to have it made up in her mind he wasn't gonna do nothing with it. Cause he said he often went to the shooting to the range. So I know those sort of conversations come up.
it's
After a
at
year,
some point, yeah.
yeah, after a year, them conversations come up. I'm gonna know what you got to defend yourself with, cause I'm over here. You understand what I'm saying? What you gonna use to defend me? So I'm gonna know. I'm gonna know if you got it or if you don't.
So would that makes you even more stupid knowing he had that type of artillery in the house and you still chose to call them over there to quote handle them. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So
right.
why would you endangered them men like that? Because you knew they was
No.
gonna ride, you knew they were able to ride for you. You
You
knew.
just better be glad he didn't come out the house shooting, cause that's what he should have did.
Mm. I
And
thought he did
before
come
we
out the
went,
house
he
because
came out and they start fighting.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then to clear the scene, he went back in and got his gun. He didn't initially just come out with his gun.
So you're saying Lil Pookie and them started firing first.
Nah, they showed their weapon. They showed and didn't use
Okay. So
it.
he
So that's
saw
what
what
happened.
they were working with and he went back into the house and got his friend.
Well, he had already had it by that point in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
What I've been understood that he already had it in his hand by the time they pulled theirs out.
Okay. Okay. And then he
So,
fired on him. So
he yeah, and
uh
he shot both of them that supposedly had guns. He shot the two that had guns in their hand, and the two that didn't, he didn't get hit.
so one was found fatally wounded in the front seat. The driver and backseat passenger were uninjured, and another one was found with gunshot wounds in Lake Park. So
Uh,
4 people, one dead, 2 uninjured, one injured
right,
and alive.
right,
Mhm.
right.
So what kind of time is he looking at again? He's looking at he
He
was
got
found not
not guilty.
guilty.
Yeah, no time. So really, the charges need to apply to that woman and the 4 people she went over there. They got that friend killed.
So do you think that they're going to go after her?
They should. That's what they should have went after first.
That's true because you called them over to his whole house.
Right, and that was Florida, so they got to stand your ground law.
Right.
You know
But
what I mean? He don't have to
mm-hmm,
retreat. He didn't have to retreat. Y'all brought the fight, so he didn't have to retreat at that point.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So that is crazy. Crazy. Same kind of situation, and not as violent though, but with Jonathan and this guy, both the women going off because they finding text messages from other women. Only difference is, Travis's girl went hood and tried to get people to come get them.
Right.
So, like you said, baby, you do as a man need to figure out the type of person that you messing with. But here's the thing, though, that won't happen for a while because the representative is who shows up first. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When you're
Right.
dating, at least for the first 6 months, the
And then
representative is coming up.
another interesting fact in that case was she had just what I think triggered her to do all of that was she had just got a surgery. She had just got her body done, right? And
Uh-huh.
he made a comment to her, low blow, said the other girl she was talking about body looked better than hers.
Wait,
And I think that's what set her off.
what? So she had all this surgery done to her body trying to keep his attention, and he came.
I don't say keep his attention. Women don't do that for one man's attention.
But obviously,
Obviously not. Women don't do. Obviously she's a cheater. She has a husband already. So why does his attention even matter?
because let's be honest and real, it's
Yeah.
because he has athlete money.
Okay. So
If
therefore,
she's
she didn't
dating a
get that
celebrity,
right. So she didn't get that money for his attention. She got that body for his attention.
that's what I'm saying.
That wasn't just for him, though. That belongs to us. She's doing that for all men attention, not his attention.
I see where you're going with that, true. But if she wants to compete and stay in his world, that's the step that she took. So I know
No,
she got it for everybody to see, but her intention was getting
no.
his attention and
I ain't
keeping
gonna.
his
I never
attention.
say this. Why? For his money? It's men out here that got more money than him. He's not
Yeah,
even
but she
currently
don't have
active.
them. She had this one.
Yeah, but he ain't
And
even
and
currently
it could
active
have
in the
been,
NFL. He
and
ain't
it could
currently active in the NFL. So
right,
his money ain't even the issue. Don't no woman get a BBL for one man's attention.
but too, he could have gave her the money to do that.
He didn't know.
He did.
He
Oh, she
did
was a
not.
real estate agent. Well, then what was to me? Then what was the point? It,
For all men attention. Wasn't just for his attention.
mm, well,
That's what I'm telling you. It wasn't just for his attention.
but if she paid with it, and this is gonna be bad for me to say, but if she paid for it with her money, what was the point? What was the point?
Right. I
What was
don't know. You tell me why y'all do that. I don't know. Why do y'all do
if
that?
and this is finna sound real grimy. So I'm just gonna keep it real 100. A lot of times when you get with these athletes, with these rappers, with these, you're looking for a come up. You know what I'm saying? You gotta
Yeah.
tolerate a whole bunch of stuff. So you looking for a come up. Look at all the people Rick Ross helped come up. One lady got like a clothing line and a purse line out of him. So what is the point if you sit here pay for this with your own money? And then you call the police and get him busted, and you a whole married woman. Like I just don't understand why you brought all this drama into your life for no reason, no purpose, no point. There was no reason that she needed to go off like this. When you married, you a whole real estate agent, so I'm pretty sure you might be high profile, kind of known around that town.
To throw it all away in just seconds.
Done. So now, okay, he's not guilty, but let's look at you. You called these men over to this house. One is dead. Somebody going down for this. It looked like it's gonna be you.
Man, and then you sent it through text message. So now they can say that's a contract for hire. What did you offer them?
But she deleted
It's,
it off her phone before. But I'm pretty sure with the
they
technology
already
now,
got it.
they got
They
it back.
got it. Once you send it, it could always be got back.
It,
You deleting it,
mm,
that don't that
mm,
don't even work.
no. So, and the sad part is, these is people that you knew. This is family members. So because you
Man.
somebody your family died because of your jealousy, your anger.
But the thing is how well spoken she was, how well spoken her brother was. Y'all ain't even on that time in life.
Right.
Y'all parents didn't raise y'all like that. It was evident. It was evident that you went out there and tried something that y'all don't do.
Well, I mean, you could be a smart gangster. You could
Never.
be
I
smart.
mean,
You could,
the point about being a gangster, you ain't never gonna catch them on your doorbell cam ring in the first place.
right.
So even with that being said, just because you do dumb stuff, that don't even mean you gangster.
No, but I
Because
mean,
the first rule is don't get caught.
the first rule is also be smart. And typical would have been, but it's family. People have a high family code, and you know how some people is about they family, especially a sister, you know,
All right.
they
But
they got
family,
they feel the need to protect them, because if he hadn't done it before in the past, she wouldn't have felt that comfortable to pick up the phone and say, "Hey, come get him."
hey, what's the just if anybody putting you in that situation, that's the definition of everybody. Just because we blood, that don't mean we family.
That's true too.
Because family ain't gonna put you in that situation. Not
No,
in that shit. You
no,
know what I mean? Because you knew that man never hit you. You knew all that.
mm-hmm.
You just wanted to do bodily harm, and
You just wanted straight up revenge. All you saw was
it wasn't revenge. You wanted to be the aggressor, the attacker. There was no revenge. that the go you can look at you can go listen to all of the testimony. There was no revenge.
Well, when I say revenge, I mean, I guess maybe the better word is retaliation. You were upset that he was seeing somebody else, so you felt the need
Right.
to retaliate by
Gotcha.
tearing up his car, by hitting him with a bottle, and when he kind of
And by
like
putting
had
the hit
words
out
and
on him.
pushed you or whatnot, because you acting a fool, you called Lil Pookie in them.
Right.
So
Right.
it was a form of retaliation.
I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I get what you're saying. I get it. I get it. So that's what y'all say.
Yes.
That's still retaliation. Wow.
Yes, that's
Wow.
retaliation. She was
Wow.
upset, just like old girl. It was retaliation on Jonathan Majors for her to, go over to his house and do what she did, or have all of that hitting on him. Even though
Right.
he protected himself by calling the police, he still got in trouble for that.
Right. He did.
So,
Oh, Jonathan Major. Right.
mm-hmm.
Right. Because like even in what's the name's case, he didn't call the police. He waited because he knew they was coming.
Who, Travis?
Yep.
Yep. I'm pretty sure, which was good for him, because why you gonna run? You were innocent. You didn't do anything. You were defending yourself.
Right.
I agree with that. So that's
Right.
crazy. That's wild. And
For me, it's one of those things, Shay, that he shouldn't even been arrested. They came to his house. That should have been enough said.
I think so. Wasn't the stand your ground? Wasn't that his defense?
Yeah, but once again, he had to prove he was innocent.
Uh-huh. But like you said, they
Instead
obviously
of
came to his house.
right, because if you don't even come to my house, this don't even happen.
Right.
Period.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's one of those things.
But I think it just went further that somebody died and somebody was seriously wounded. So I think that's why it kind of went a little further, deeper in investigation. But I still don't think it should have went into trial after seeing, and hearing all parts.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm. So in the end, at the end of the day, he was just signed to a Canadian football team. Do you think they're going to allow him to play with this reputation, or do you think they're going to release him from his contract?
I don't know if he's been released already, but once again, getting a reputation for something you never did wrong. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's a double-edged sword.
Oh, well, I just
You
read
know what I
that.
mean? But it's definitely a reputation you have now.
Exactly. And I did read that he was released the day after his arrest.
And now it comes out that you were totally right, but at the whole time.
So should they pick him back up, or is it just too little too late?
It's they're not obligated to do anything.
Right. I get that, but
Because
is it a bad look if they pick him back up, or is it just that they trying to
it
stay?
wouldn't be. I actually think that we may see him in the NFL next year.
Really? Even though, okay, wait though. Okay, wait. I was reading his stats. So he was with the Giants, spent 2 seasons with the Giants, and he was signed to the Miami Dolphins practice squad, but he tore his ACL on the first day of workouts and never played in the NFL again. So he had like 3 seasons and really didn't do much with his time. So is he really worth the all this signing?
He may put some asses in the seat.
But it wouldn't be because of his talent. It'd be more
No, it'd be
for
because of what
the
all went on.
story.
It's the
It'd
story.
be the drama.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. So at the end of the day, a lot of teams don't want to be associated with stuff like that. So I don't know if he'd be given a good, fair chance.
Under the circumstances of that, he would. Because this the
Really.
ideal stand your ground. This is why we have guns. This is all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I did nothing wrong. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
You know, like I recommend everybody go listen to the testimony, and you'll say like, wow, he was in a spot where he had no choice. He had to make a decision.
And I agree. I mean, somebody coming to your house to shoot up your, I agree
Even if
he
you
didn't
come
have a
just to
choice.
fight, even if you show up at my house just to fight, ain't finna be no you came to fight. I
Right.
didn't.
Would it have been better if they had a got into the house with the guns and he shot him inside
What?
versus being outside of his home?
What do you mean?
Well, they always, I guess it don't matter, but like here in Texas, they say shoot them while they in your house.
Well,
So,
no, Texas has a law that don't quote me, but I believe like soon as somebody step on your property,
okay. Probably.
that's Texas.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I've been reading a little bit. It depends on the state you in.
Right.
Every state governed by different laws. Now, I want to say in Missouri, in some point, I know in Missouri it used to be like that, where if they had to be in your house,
Mm-hmm.
physically inside. You know what I mean?
Right.
But things have changed. They've given people my suggestion: sharpen up on your gun laws. Know
Exactly.
when and where you can use it.
Exactly. Exactly.
You
But
know what I mean?
it's
You
just
have to wait.
sad
You
that
have to wait for a person to cross over to where you can get a legal shoot out of
nowadays.
it. And just because it's right, I mean for real though, because just
That's
because
true.
you're right, that doesn't mean that it was a legal shoot.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You you understand what I'm saying?
But I admire him for having the courage to sit and wait for the police and go let in this case, the law did prevail.
Right.
Because it could have went totally different, especially with him having that powerful a gun. So
Mm-hmm.
that this is just wild. It's just wild. And I hate that it happened to him behind love, or not even love, behind sex. Because I
Right.
mean, can you call it love? Especially if she was a married woman? That's just wild that she was married and acting a fool. Like, sis, you don't even live with him. So he's going
Right.
to date. Mm, mm, mm,
Right.
mm. So, wow, 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 wow. All right. So, do we have anything else, words on this?
Nah, that's about it. Well, me ain't pick better. It don't matter if you're an athlete or a banker or you work at McDonald's or it don't matter. We make better decisions.
That is true.
Better decisions. Once again, ask the tough questions. Because even in her testimony, she said, I never told him. Like he never asked. I
Wow.
didn't feel the need to tell him. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, but you can ask the tough questions, but people lie. You know what I'm saying? Like when you go
They
out on a
lie, but
date,
if you never asked the question, then you can't say they wasn't lied too.
true, because that's the first thing you should ask. Are you single? Does your wife believe you are married?
Right,
Are
right,
you
right,
lying to me about being single? You know,
right,
because what I don't want is somebody walking up in here trying to shoot at me. So,
right.
are you single?
That part.
And be honest about it, because this is how people get hurt, as we see.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he didn't even know. He did not know. And you got people shooting at him. So no, you got to be for real. If that's your situation, be honest about it. Let me decide how I choose to deal with
Let
you.
me know if I want to be in that. I might not even want to be in
That's
that.
what I was just about to say, because I may not want to deal with you in that way.
Right. I'm gonna go the other way.
Because by you lying and acting single, you're taking my choice away from me. Because what if her husband had showed up with Lil Pookie in him? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What if she would have
Right.
called her husband in on the situation
Right.
and he don't know? You know, so that could have been bad. Or what if they had been out somewhere dining and her husband walked up on them
Right.
and he don't know? So
Right.
by you lying, you taking the choice away from me, because at the end of the day, he may not have felt comfortable in dealing with the married woman and would have told her to step off.
Right.
And that's why
Right.
I think she went and got that plastic surgery, because honestly, she was trying to hold on to him at the end of the day. Because if she wasn't, she
You
would have
think
told
so?
him the truth, which is I'm married. But she didn't want to tell him the truth because she was trying to hang on to him. So she did not disclose and caused all this stuff. I would love to follow this woman and figure and continue to see if they're gonna file charges against her. We should see something in the coming weeks if they're gonna
Right.
file charges against her, because one man was killed, one man was wounded, two walked away.
Right.
All
But
the,
they were. I want to say one of them was her brother.
yeah, one was her brother.
So it's the element of the family. Or the family gonna want to, do they want to pursue them? Because you lose two family members.
Which at the end of the day, I mean, you again, what kind of rap sheet did, not saying that they were, but you putting this man, innocent man who didn't even have nothing to do with it. All four of them didn't even have nothing to do with the situation. But now you bringing folks in their life and might be taking them away from families, and one family is already missing one
Man,
because you decided to do this, because you
it's
decided to
her
step out
family
on
that's
your
missing
marriage.
one. It's her family. It was,
Yeah.
well, I believe it was one of her brothers. So she caused a bunch of turmoil right amongst her family.
Mm-hmm. And again, this ain't the first time she done did this. This is not. They've been covering her behind for years.
I feel you.
That every time she
They met
probably
they match.
every time she got into a situation, I'm calling my brother on you. You know,
uh,
that's just sad. It's just a sad
uh,
situation. And I hate that happened, but I'm glad Travis Rudolph got off and he was found not guilty. That justice well served, because it could have went so many other different directions, honestly. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right. It could.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's about that time for us to walk out the building. You got any wise words for us?
No, I'm gonna pass this week. I ain't been doing a lot of studying. Had overworked this week, so y'all forgive me. I'm gonna get back to it.
Oh, that's all right. That is all right. We'll look up wise words, because we can't not have wise words for the week. That just
Well,
gotta
hey,
take
I
a
did
stand.
it.
So let's see. Let's pick. Oh, okay. Here goes some wise words. Here we go. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. Boom. Think on that. Think on that. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. We're always in a constant rotation of learn, growth, and change. So keep creating yourself. How was that?
Like, that's real good. That's like also, I'm gonna piggyback on that.
Go ahead.
I got a homework assignment for everybody.
Okay.
Get the currency, load you a free currency exchange app.
Kurt.
So you'll know the value of your money in other countries.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so know what you worth. That's
Exactly.
the quick. So just understand that. You go do that, then the light switch will come on for a lot of y'all.
Okay. And also
Yeah.
do an IQ test.
IQ said, yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yes, we got to do an IQ test. We'll know the value of our knowledge as well. All right, family, that is it for us today. What a great topic. Shout out to all our people involved, and hopefully we learn something from this. Watch the situations that you put yourselves in. Love is a powerful drug. Just be careful who you share it with, as Word said earlier.
Man, it's addictive.
All right, fam. We will see you on the flip. Have a good rest of the week.
Peace.